You know, they had disappeared for so long that I kind of forgot about them, but the last year they came back with Mercury Act I and kind of teased that this was going to be some sort of multi-double album type thing. And with Mercury Act II, now by the Imagine Dragons, we get an even longer album full of just, well, not the band's best material. I said it last year, where Act 1 of Mercury was definitely the worst, I think, album they have ever put out, even worse than Origins, as their albums just keep devolving as time goes on. Now, with Mercury Act 2, one thing I saw was they definitely, like, sometimes in the album there was old Imagine Dragons popping through. Like, I know some people say they've never really changed, but when you look at their first three albums, they always had, like, this certain sound, and for the most part, it ended up being catchy a lot of the time, and that led to some of my favorite songs on here, which is Sharks, Take It Easy, Waves, and Continual. I feel like Sharks was, like, the main one for me. I remember when they released that as a single and I heard it, I was like, you know, this reminds me a lot of what the band used to do and used to reel me in with stuff like this, and it just, it became one of my favorites. Then we get to the okay tracks where I just kind of, you know, these songs aren't necessarily terrible, but I am not a huge fan of them per se. We have Symphony, I Don't Like Myself, Peace of Mind, and They Don't Know You Like I Do, which wasn't a great option for a album finisher, but, you know, I guess it's just what they chose. They're not really good at closing albums out, I can at least say that much. And then the rest is my least favorite. Bones, I don't know why they made that a single, it wasn't that great. Blur, Higher Ground, I guess they're trying to be Obi-Wan Kenobi now, and they did not take advantage of the high ground. Crushed, I'm Happy, Ferris wheel, which just has like the worst, I think. They say that I'm gonna make you feel like you're on a Ferris wheel and all this kind of stuff. It's just that type of, what's it called, innuendo that I just found very, very cringy. Sirens, Ty, Younger, and I Wish were also ones where they just didn't hit like I thought that they could hit before, and this is just another long, bloated Imagine Dragons album. I mean, at least with Mercury Act I, it was 14 songs, which is still quite a bit for their standard, considering before that, they only really averaged anywhere between, like, 11 to 12 songs. But this had 18 songs on it, and I felt like a lot of it could have just been left off. If this was just 10 of the best songs on there and you kicked 8 of them out, that probably would have been an okay record. But with this, it's just leaving more to desire as to what the band was able to do back then. I mean, they weren't necessarily the greatest band, but they were tolerable in a way. I mean, God, their debut album came out 10 years ago, and I still think it holds up very, very well. They used to make good material, but now it just seems they're making material for the sake of, again, those plays and those gains on Spotify. I mean, these two albums over the past 2 years have 32 total songs on them, and I just feel like it's unnecessary. Like, I get it's a double album, it's going to have quite a bit on it, but, like, did we really need over 30 songs on a double album that we just kind of knew was going to be mostly filler with a couple good things here and there, and then just not a whole lot of greatness to come along with it? So I'll say that this album might be better than Mercury Act I, but not much better with a 3 out of 10. It's just, there's moments where it's there and you feel like you're going to get lifted and the album might go somewhere, but then it's just taken right back down with the next 4 or 5 songs where you're just like, oh, okay, we're going back to this, the reason that people hate Imagine Dragons so much. So that's what I think about this album. You can tell me in the comments below, what do you think? And until then, stay safe out there, wear your mask, get vaccinated, and I will catch you all in the next one.